While we wait to hear more information about Rishi Sunak's new Brexit deal, let's talk about the government's other idiotic agreements, including wasting taxpayers' money to send UK diplomats' kids to private schools like Eton. Okay, this is more of an underrated story. We always talk about the MPs' salaries that are funded by the UK taxpayers, but on top of it, they also have expenses and subsidies. So everything's basically funded by a taxpayer. We don't even let them spend their own money. And by their own money, I'm actually including the salary into it because you pay the salary, it's your money now. But let's talk about the other people part of the state, including the diplomats. Why is it that we just found out that diplomats are sending their kids to private schools? Nothing wrong with it, do whatever you want. But why are they using the British government's budget on top of what they already get paid to fund the private school education of their kids? So your Foreign Office spend almost £400,000 to send their kids of top diplomats just to Eton. This is a year ago. The official figures are obtained after the Labour Party did a Freedom of Information request. So about £400,000, just less, just for Eton. But Eton figures just represents 3.5% of the overall £10.5 million that was spent by the government on UK private schools last year. Is absolutely fascinating, isn't it? Why? And those who say, well, they're diplomats, you need the kids to have proper security. Really? Is that really a good excuse? Because if that's the case, as I said, feel free to send your kids to any school you want, but you have your own money. Secondly, I'm actually going to go deeper into this because why the concept of private schools or independent schools as opposed to state schools. So state schools, they have an element of the safety net. It was supposed to be a safety net for those who can't afford. And also, it's part of the state. So why not build your own semi-better, with better quality state schools and send your kids there? Why do we not have that? I don't get it. But in the same year, as a year ago, £21 million, over £21 million was spent on school fees for 902 UK diplomats' children in education overseas. So that's quite interesting. Again, they have their own money, they have their own salary, but no, they use the British government budget. Okay, cool. Under this scheme, they called the Continuity of Education Allowance, senior Foreign Office staff can apply to have up to 90% of their children's school fees paid by the taxpayer if they contribute the remaining 10% themselves. Oh, I'm so proud of you. At least you do contribute 10% of the school fees. Really? It's one of those like stories. I'm like, okay, it's not that much money, but it is. At first, it's £10 million. But first, it's a principle as an issue. But it's a slippery slope that shows how much waste we have across the government, across the board. We always talk about the NHS waste. We always talk about this and that and the MPs, cheap drinks, cheap food. But there's so much that we can cover, and this channel will try its best to find more stories like this because it's important to be transparent in a so-called democracy. Now, let me know what you think in the comment section about this story. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.